All right, welcome to DNTV. My name is Paige Howe. I am a domain name investor and internet entrepreneur. I am an unabashed homer for domain names and the domain name industry. I've been in the domain name industry for about 15 years, and I want to talk to you today about a current trend happening now in October 2015 that could be our next big stage of growth in the domain name business. And it has to do with an article that was published by GoDaddy, one of our biggest registrars. One time had 50% market share, may still have 50% market share, talking about the preponderance of people they see that's made a meaningful impact in their numbers of domain name registrations that are forwarding that page to a page on a social network. And it's been a long time coming. But let's talk about the history of the domain name space, and then we'll circle back around to where we are now. So we talk about domain names, and some of you may be watching this for the first time and saying, what the heck is a domain name? How can I own a domain name? Others of you may own thousands and may have made thousands of dollars buying and selling them. But basically on the internet, a network, it is a network of multiple connections, and you can own your connection by having a domain name. And the reason we came up with domain names was we didn't want to have to remember these long numbers like 126.129.121.161.161. Came up with one list, the one and only list of who owned a domain name. If you know who owns a domain name, you know where the content is for that website. So you could register your own domain name and have your own website. And what you had to do was you had to go to a registrar like GoDaddy. Originally it was all a monopoly called Network Solutions, but since 2000 you go to a registrar, you get your domain name, you have to enter in 4 different contacts using a NIC handle to establish your official contact with a phone and fax number. A fax was the thing we used to do where you dialed through the phone and sent an image of a piece of paper through the phone line. And you had a domain name, you had to set up your internet handle. Based upon your handle, your domain name would, quote, go live or propagate over the course of the next 2 days. Then, if you wanted to build a website, you had to establish the name servers, set up the name servers with your website, but you couldn't build your website till your name servers worked, and if your name servers worked, you couldn't build the website, and most people just threw up their hands, hired someone to do it, or said, whatever, dude. And so I think we left everything open for the social networks like Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and LinkedIn and apps to come about, because the registrars made everything self-service. You were just supposed to figure it out on yourself, buy a bunch of extra products and services. Everything was supposed to work, and maybe it didn't. So everyone went ahead and they said, wow, but if I just join Facebook and create a page on Facebook, it works right away. People can go see it, and I can say, go to my Facebook page, and I can invite them to my Facebook page, and they can like my Facebook page. But then Facebook got a little more complicated because you had to set up a company page or a endorsement page, and then on Twitter you couldn't set up a company because each one of these companies needs to know that they're dealing with a real individual person because they're selling data about you to advertisers so they can monetize you on the stock market and be worth $60 billion. And if they're worth $60 billion, they have to make a case why they're going to be worth $120 billion. So you've got these publicly traded social networks. Basically, all their content is created by you, the user, and they're using it. Whatever they've done in the past doesn't matter. The only thing that matters to Wall Street is what they're going to do next quarter, next month. And they've all been charged with how are they going to monetize their traffic. So what that means is you've noticed that when someone does go to your company page on Facebook and say it's my company page and it's about domain names, oh my gosh, right down the middle there's advertising for other domain names. Right underneath my post are sponsored posts where Facebook has sold people the ability to post right underneath me to sell people other domain name products. But they've got to monetize it. They got to monetize it. And by the way, if you ever have a problem with it, they're all in beta, so they can't fix it. You can't call them. You can't do anything. And now people are having trouble, and one of my TV shows I watch every week is awesome because they have to sit there and give out all the information about how to contact them, and they have to give out their domain name, their Facebook page, their Twitter handle, their Instagram handle, their email handle, their LinkedIn handle, and then if you go to those, they also want you to download your app. So the app is the thing that is taken over because you download that on your phone, and then the company knows they have you forever because you don't even have to log on to the internet and they can send you stuff and learn about you. Google hates apps because you're not on the internet, you're inside your app. And even though they control the internet, they don't control you on your app. Now, Google was our search engine. They said, we're going to be a great search engine and show you everything on the internet. Now they show you everything about Google on the internet. Just last week, we did an article for DNTV that talked about how on the first page, many times now in mobile, if you search for something, you're going to see a Google ad, a Google ad, a Google paid ad, a Google result, and a Google internally owned company all above the fold on the first page. You may not even see you. And if you are looking for your business, you may see someone else's listing about your business. So the question is, are you going to keep having your internet brand, your online marketing brand, which is everything now, that it isn't just the desktop, now it's the TV and phones and the Internet of Things and everything, or you're always going to give a part of it over to other people and let them control and own your content and your data? Now, it's great to use these social networks to build up a following, but you've got to ask yourself at one point in time, am I after likes and being popular, or do I want to make money and own something? And that's what I believe we give you in the domain name business, in the domain name industry, when you buy your own domain name. You buy your own domain name, you own a connection to advertise your products and services however you want to on the internet, have people come directly to your site without seeing competing ads unless you want them to. You can have them order your product on your site and deliver it to them, and no one else has that data of what they've done. And it's a lot easier than having to give out these things, because each one of these things has positives and negatives. Say you want to give out your Facebook page. Join me on Facebook. Well, someone says, I'm so pissed off at Facebook, I don't want to go to Facebook, so I'm not going to go to your page. Or if they do go to your page, you're going to find out who they are. They don't want you to know who they are, so they don't want to go to your Facebook page. Plus, they're going to see ads. Plus, you don't want to put all your content on Facebook because you can't necessarily always link off of Facebook to your own website unless you're paying for a paid ad. So you say, well, gee, I want to be able to communicate with all my people through Twitter, so I'll use Twitter. Okay, great. But when then they go on Twitter, they have to have a Twitter account, they have to be logged in, and Twitter's got to monetize itself, so who knows what they're going to do in the future. Instagram is just for sharing pictures, so you can share a picture of your thing, but you can't build up any relationship. LinkedIn is great if you're looking for a job or if you're looking to make connections or sell something, but you can't really do other social network stuff, although they're trying to get you to. They can email you, but now your email thing is full of a bunch of stuff and someone doesn't want you to give their email address. Or they could get your app, but you haven't got your app approved by the App Store, and if you charge for it, you have to give Apple and Google part of your money, plus get it approved by them, plus be listed alongside other apps, so when people go to buy your app, all they're going to do is see other apps that compete with you. Or you can go back to your own domain name. And a nice in-between solution that GoDaddy highlighted, so I've come all the way around full circle, is to have your domain name. And right now, if you don't have anything built, forward your domain name to your Facebook page. Let people contact you there. That's fine for now. Forward to your Twitter, your Instagram, your LinkedIn, or your app. You own your own domain name, you control it, you keep all your data, and you've got no limits. Who knows what the terms and conditions of these social networks are going to be in the future? Who even knows who's going to own them? Who knows if they're going to merge? So right now with the domain name, I think you have a great opportunity to link your domain name directly to a page, and the registrars are making that really easy to just click and type and have it done for you, be able to instantly be able to tell people, hey, come to DNTV.tv, or come to pagehow.com, or come to Domain University. That's all I have to say. I don't have to say, are you on Instagram? Are you on Twitter, Facebook? Where do you want to get me? Where do you want to come at me? I can just give them my domain name and have them come right to my website that I control. Even if that website is just really thin and just says, contact me here. You've got the ability now to control your presence online. And if in the future you switch from being an awesome Facebook lover to someone who hates Facebook, you don't have to go back and redo all your marketing that told people to go to your Facebook page. If you go with a domain name that you always own and control, like my own pagehow.com, I can just tell people, you want to get me a pagehow.com. And if I happen to be using Twitter or Facebook or LinkedIn or anything else, it doesn't matter. It's kind of like the days when we first got our first internet connection and your email address was tied to your connectivity. Well, it's me at PacBell or me at Bell South or me at AT&T, or for those of you who go way back, me at home.com. And then all of a sudden you change from DSL to cable internet, and then you got a cable internet address, so now you were Time Warner, and you had to go back and do all your changing of internet addresses. One of the reasons I think Gmail has taken off is people were able to get one address, and then depending on, even if they changed their internet connection, they just had one address. So have your own domain name, control it, buy it. Now, what's exciting is, just like anything else you buy, your car, your clothes, your house, tickets for a ball game, movie, food, you can pick what you want to buy. You want to go regular? You want to go deluxe? You want to go extra special? Do you want to own the best? You want your first and last name? Most of you can probably get it. You want to own just your first name or just your last name? There's probably never been a better time to buy domain names with your first and last name than right now, because we just got 1,000 new choices. Find out about new TLDs by watching some of our videos. You want to own the industry that you're in? Okay, like us for Domain University, we don't have to be Pages Domain University or Domain University for domains or add on something. We can just be domainuniversity.com. That's how we can get the best name and build prestige. I've got about a second to convince you, if you're looking to find out about domain names, to come to my site. And I want that second to be used with a great first impression, with a great domain name, domainuniversity.com. Personally, I want pagehow.com. Boom, I've told you exactly who I am. You already know how to spell my name if you know me, so you don't have to ask me how to spell my domain name, because it's the same as my name, which you've written a bunch of times. So anyway, I'm passionate about it. This is my totally hyped up speech on the October 2015 GoDaddy report about the people, the growing number of people that are buying domain names, forwarding to their social network sites. I think it's great, and I think it's only going to be the beginning for many of you to then take the next step and say, I'm going to control what the foyer or what the entry point is. Just like when people come into your home, you want to make a nice impression there. Then you'll start building your own landing page, and we'll get back to the internet was the way it started. You had a home page. Your home page told about you, or you used your home page to be able to navigate around the internet without having to buy someone else's products and services. Anyway, I'm Page How. This is a Page How purely hyped editorial about domain names for DNTV. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.